Good morning, STN. It's a beautiful Thursday here in the Emerald City. I'm Teddy.
And I'm Victoria. We're here to bring you all the local knowledge from Seattle.
We've traveled over 3,000 miles from South Florida, where we're used to 90-degree weather and palm trees in every corner,
to the Pacific Northwest with a growing population that has over 730,000 residents and is now being seen as a technology-driven center.
Seattle is commonly known for its cool and rainy conditions, mountains, of course the most iconic tourist attraction, the Space Needle, and coffee.
But there's a lot more to Seattle than just caffeine. On today's show, our reporters set out to see more of this blooming city, including a closer look into how Lime bikes are impacting locals, a bakery that has been open since 1912, a special interview on a man who went from wrist to roast, and more.
I can't wait, so let's get started. A local bakery founded by three Seattle women has been thriving since the World War I era and continues to attract individuals from all over Seattle as one of the many attractions within Pike Place.
Even though it's an old place, it's known to sell some of the freshest pastries in Seattle.
Today, one of our reporters had a lucky opportunity to get a special look at this one-of-a-kind bakery.
Thanks, guys. While the Emerald City is commonly known for things like fish and coffee, it's also known for its growing entrepreneurial sector. With Amazon dominating the city, it's easy to forget about the pioneer spirit that got Seattle started. That's why we're here at Three Girls Bakery, the first business licensed to a woman in the city, going strong since 1912.
So the bakery was started 107 years ago by Mrs. Jones and two of her friends, so that's where Three Girls Bakery came of. The women that started it were very strong women, and they had a business plan to go forward. They wanted something. They wanted to make a pavement for young women to be able to have businesses later on in their lives and their careers. So they kept it going just out of sheer will. Like, they sold bread out of buggies during the Great Depression, and we're one of the only people to sell bread to anybody in Seattle during that time. So like, through everything that happened, even financial problems, the business kept going. And now it's owned by Jack Levy, and he runs it with the help of his daughter, his sister, and his wife. So still there's three girls that help run it. Right outside the windows that we have, there's just people flooding, especially during cruise ship season. And then if you come in here, it's a little bit more quiet, it's quaint, it's like a family. Like, you get to have conversations with everybody that works here, and you get to sit and eat your food and just enjoy your time and relax for a little bit, which is not a big thing in the market at all.
Just like Pike Place, Three Girls Bakery is historic. Serving Seattleites for over a century, it appeals to the local scene in a different way. And it's common knowledge around here that this bakery is doing it right. Reporting for STN, I'm Sophia Diaz, Seattle, Washington. Now, back to the anchors.
Due to a large amount of construction work in the city, Seattleites have taken over 2 million trips since Lime Bike opened in 2017.
Courtney grabbed a ride to give us an inside scoop to a more environmentally friendly mode of transportation.
As you're driving through the Emerald City, you may notice a lot of bright green bicycles. Those are the popular Lime bikes, which are a part of Seattle's second phase to get cars off the street.
You get like a more intimate view of the city because, you know, you're outside of the car, you're like on the street in the environment. We can like cruise up and go look at the shore, come back, you just have more access to everything.
I've seen, you see a lot of cars around because, the street, but there's more bikes around than cars, definitely, for sure. Some people, I used to drive my car every day, but now if the bike's out my house every day, I can ride a bike. You're never going to run to a spot where you didn't have a Lime bike. Come around the corner, bam, bike. You're going to go out the store, bike. So there's a lot of them.
From what I know in my community, we started off with the Lime bikes and we transitioned to the scooters. And actually, ever since the Lime bikes, they actually help people out transport to place instead of taxis and Ubers. Makes it more affordable for them.
There's a lot of fun, when you're, like I say, you're with your friends, you want to go to the park, you want to ride a bike, but there's no bike around, it's come in handy.
For locals looking for a quick and cost-efficient way to get around town, the Lime bikes are the perfect option. Reporting for STN, I'm Courtney Medwin, Seattle, Washington.
Celebrating their 10-year anniversary this year, Porchlight Coffee and Records is a Seattle staple. Although they specialize in homemade pastries and delicious coffee, that isn't all they have to offer. Porchlight carries a wide variety of new and vintage records from Bon Iver to the Supremes. As well as coffee and records, they have their very own merchandise located at the front of the store. Porchlight Coffee and Records combines Seattle's defining traits of music and coffee into one hotspot for local employees.
Some residents and tourists may have been able to see Courtney take her Lime bike by looking over the monorail. It operates along 5th Avenue between Seattle Center in Lower Queen Anne and Westlake Center in downtown.
It gives an easy mode of transportation for locals all across the city.
If you're looking for a quick way to get to the Space Needle or to the Museum of Pop and Culture, you can hop on the Seattle monorail just like our friends Owen and Ryan.
What's up, STN? Today, we're here in the beautiful Emerald City to test residents' local knowledge with Seattle trivia.
But instead of walking down the yellow brick road, we're going to be up on the monorail.
I'm Owen.
I'm Ryan, and this is Man Above the Street.
Do you guys know what the monorail was built for and why?
This is the World's Fair. Monorail was built for the 1962 World's Fair as well with the Space Needle.
This museum that we're going through right now, the Museum of Pop Culture, do you know what it's supposed to be modeled after?
Yes, it's supposed to be modeled about like a broken guitar.
Seattle has a nickname based off of a gemstone. Do you know what that gemstone is?
The Jade.
Yeah, the Emerald City.
The Emerald City.
The Space Needle, do you know what that was built for and when?
That was part of the World's Fair as well, and that was kind of the observation tower.
It was built for the 1962 World's Fair.
Well, it turns out Seattleites are well informed about the history of their city.
Signing off for STN, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Owen.
Back to the anchors.
Today I am sitting here with Max Clawbeau, who is the head event specialist here at Starbucks Reserve and Roasteries right here in Seattle, Washington. Max, thank you so much for joining me today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, I know you mentioned before that there's a couple Starbucks Reserve and Roasteries worldwide, but what makes this location so unique in particular?
So you're right, there is 5 more roasteries in the world. We have Seattle, Shanghai, Milan, Tokyo, and New York. But Seattle is the #1.
I know that Seattle is the coffee capital of the world, and there's so many amazing things to do here. How does Starbucks Reserve and Roasteries not only bring people together as a store, but Seattle's community as a whole?
What makes the roastery different is the impact that it creates on the neighborhood itself. When we created the roastery, we decided to plant it into a specific neighborhood where we thought we could bring a lot more than just coffee, and that's what we did.
Now I think it's time, if you don't mind, that I get my espresso on. What do you think?
You need to try.
Let's give it a little try.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Max, so much for joining me today. This has been an STN exclusive. Reporting for STN, this has been Zach Dischinger.
A perfect ending to an exciting show. We've had so much fun exploring the interesting parts and people of Seattle.
I definitely feel more like a local now after today's show.
Me too. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in to this special edition of WHS News. I'm Teddy.
And I'm Victoria.
Until next time, have a good one, STN.
Bye.